Congressman Bob Good here with your weekly good news from Washington, and we are celebrating and recognizing the 2-year anniversary of the Dobbs decision that finally reversed the terribly harmful Roe v. Wade decision that cost 63 million lives, the only decision in the history of our country that caused so much devastation. And of course, the Supreme Court had the courage to overturn that 2 years ago and to return the responsibility for legislating life, protecting life to the people's representatives, both at the state level and the federal level. And I actually believe, of course, that Congress has a responsibility, that we ought to protect all life from the womb. And matter of fact, this week I introduced my bill, the Life Act, which would allow abortion at the federal level, where it would make it a federal crime for a licensed medical professional who accepts federal funds to perform or prescribe an abortion at any point after conception or fertilization. I had the privilege this week of speaking at the National Celebrate Life Day in Washington, right at the Lincoln Memorial, and that was put on by our friends, Students for Life Action. This week on the House floor, we voted to fund our Department of Defense and our Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Defense bill would give a well-deserved, much-needed pay raise to our troops, and also it was a good Republican bill passed on unfortunately a partisan level. No Democrats voted for it because it eliminated many of the climate initiatives that have been in place under the Biden administration. It eliminated diversity, equity, inclusion, and critical race theory and transgender funding, along with abortion funding in the military. And the Department of Homeland Security bill does have border wall funding and some other good provisions, so I voted for both of those bills. In my HELP subcommittee, Health, Employment, Labor, and Pensions in the Department of Education, Education Committee, I chaired a hearing in that committee where we were trying to hold accountable the director or the secretary for the Employee Benefits and Security Administration, which is supposed to be focused on protecting the retirement, health, and welfare plans of about 150 million Americans, employees, retirees, and their family members. But instead, they're focused on all kinds of other harmful Biden policies. And not surprisingly, the vast majority of their workers are not coming to work in person still, using COVID as an excuse. So we're trying to hold them accountable for that. Thank you for the privilege of being your congressman.